This is completely inevitable. The military junta have brought this whole raft of charges against her that you've mentioned, and they are intending to sort of prosecute and push them to the full. Now, today's charges, not the most serious she's going to be facing. She was charged with breaking public health rules by campaigning during last year's elections in public. That carried a potential 3-year sentence. She was sentenced to 2 years. Remember, those were the elections that her National League for Democracy won overwhelmingly, crushing the military proxy parties, which then claimed electoral fraud, which is their excuse for the coup in February. The second charge concerned inciting public unrest. She's got 2-year sentence for that. They'll run consecutively. That's 4 years. But, you know, she's not been seen since the February coup, and she's been held incommunicado. And it's been very clear that the military's intent she won't be seen again any time soon, or possibly any time at all.
And you mentioned them just there. She does face a dozen charges. If found guilty on all of them, for example, which isn't beyond the realms of possibility by any means, she could face the rest of her life in jail.
That's right. She is 76 and she is facing charges that can be tallied up to over 100 years. It would be a life sentence for just about anybody, and certainly for Aung San Suu Kyi. Now, you know, she was under house arrest for 3 stints that tallied up to 15 years under previous military dictatorships. And they released her. They thought that they could sort of still exercise a degree of control. This junta, this dictatorship that came into power after the coup, believes that previous military governments erred by releasing her. And they are obviously intent that she will not reappear on Myanmar's public scene if and when they hold some form of elections under their rules in a year or two. So this is their mission, to eradicate her from public life by prosecuting her. But, you know, remember the protesters, the campaign against the coup, it's not just about her. Certainly she is the figurehead. Protesters were out on the streets yesterday who got run down by a military vehicle, quoting her, some of her famous words. But there's a massive movement now of disobedience, of people not paying their taxes, of civil servants striking, and increasingly of armed resistance. And that is not going to be weakened or undermined by these charges or these verdicts today.
And Philip, do you think that these verdicts we've heard so far today, are we expecting that to have any concrete impact on the opposition to the military junta we've seen in recent months?
No, I think they will. I think it will galvanise them. It will anger people further. You know, you may see people immediately going onto the streets in flash mobs, coming on to the streets, leaving the streets. But in terms of the way that the opposition has set itself up since this coup, you know, they've got their underground government, they've got their military forces. They're trying to sort of woo and seek international support by simply jailing Suu Kyi and the former president and other senior figures. This is not going to actually undermine what is now a mass movement.
Philip Sherwell, thank you very much.